Alright, well it's June 3rd and I still haven't put a garden in. Here in central Alberta, I think people will tell me I'm crazy for putting in a garden this late. Everyone had their gardens in weeks ago, but back where I'm from, eastern Canada, there's still plenty of time, but I guess it's a different growing season. So I'm behind the 8 ball this year, but whatever. So I bought, I didn't even really look what I bought here. I thought I bought some big tomatoes and small tomatoes, but I think they're all cherry tomatoes. So this is a Red Robin cherry tomato, and then I got some a Sweet Sunset pepper. Just grab that for fun. And I usually plant dill in the little patch there. So this year I just bought one that was already growing, but they're a weed. They grow pretty good anyways. Then I got some sweet and neat red tomatoes and some Fantastico. And then I got some little chives, little green onions for the herb garden, and then yeah, I'm gonna plant turnips and carrots, and then I already sprouted onion bulbs there. So I'm gonna till up the garden and put some manure and black earth on it. But check out my new tiller. Picked her up last night. 5 horsepower. Bridge and Stratton. Oh, dirt on the road. Classic machine. Buddy got her all fixed up, ready to go. So the other day the weeds in this garden were like 2 feet high, so I whippersnipped it all and I blew it all off, and then the whole backyard is full of white blossoms off this tree. This tree here, it's like a small crabapple tree, and it blossoms. It was just full of bloom, and then the next day all the leaves are blowing off, but it's they're a small apple and they come on early and then they die quick. And I trimmed quite a bit of it this year. And there's my other apple tree. Normally the garden, there's limbs that stuck out of this side and hung out kind of over the garden, and nothing in this area would grow. So this year I'm going to try these tree spikes. People have been telling me to try this to see. I'm going to stick these all around the base of the tree, and hopefully that will add some nutrients to the tree, and maybe it won't take as much nutrients out of the garden. So we'll try that. I usually plant peas and beans and pumpkins, and I usually have the whole garden full, but I'm kind of late this year and I just want a simple garden. So I'm going to put plastic down on everything to keep control of the weeds. Might reuse some of the plastic that's here, and I couldn't find plastic this year, so I just got this weed control fabric. I don't know, I'll try it out. So since I'm planting a smaller garden, I'm going to kind of map out how much room I'm going to need, and I'm going to till up the whole garden probably and lay fabric on it all, just so it doesn't return back to lawn, and then fertilize the area I'm going to use. See, I only planted half the garden I usually do. Usually this end would be pumpkins, and then peas and beans, and then carrots, turnips, tomatoes, all that was, or carrots and turnips and onions would be there, and then down on this end is always tomatoes. So I'm only going to plant half it this year, so I'm going to start with tomatoes in that end, and I'll put all the root vegetables in the middle. Seeing how it's getting on in the season, I'll just plant root vegetables and then pre-sprouted tomatoes, so they can stay in there till the ground freezes, and that's fine. I have a little spade around somewhere. I should go grab it. So it's called weed control fabric. It's for gardens and flower beds. It's not really like a landscaping cloth. It's lighter. I've never tried it before, but I put it over the whole garden. Because what ends up happening is I get all ambitious and plant my garden, and I take off on holidays all summer, or disappear for weeks or months at a time on my motorcycle, and the garden just turns into straight weeds. So I'm going to try this cloth over the whole garden and see if that helps. What I want is a lazy man's garden that I don't have to maintain. Jeepers. I'm going to go get a spade. Well, I couldn't find the spade. Man, I got to clean that garage out. I got friggin', it's packed full. I can't fit another thing in there. I got my 2 motorcycles. I got a 4-wheeler in there that I started tearing apart over a year ago and moved on to something else, so that's sitting there in the way. I got to get that together and probably sell it. I still got my dirt bikes in the back shed that I got to dig out and get fixed up. You're probably wondering why I haven't been doing any dirt bike stuff lately. It's because it's been super dry here, and there's a province-wide fire ban and off-road recreational vehicle ban, so I'm not in too big of a hurry to get my dirt bikes out. I want to, but I can't use them anyways. So hopefully this week I'll start working on maybe some dirt bikes, and I'm starting fabrication on my new intruder here right away too. So anyone that knows anything about gardening, let me know if this is crazy and I'm dumb and this isn't going to work. I'm just trying something new, trying to be lazy. Oh yeah, get the water in there, eh? And I'm guessing this fabric, like water can go through it, I'm guessing. Like if I spray this down, it should soak down into the soil, hopefully. And that's how I usually plant everything. I don't make rows, I don't hill nothing up. I just plant her straight in the ground, and it seems to work out for me. Like I said, I'm going for a lazy man's garden here. That apple tree right there produces like crazy. Like I said, I trimmed a bunch out the bottom this year, but that thing just loads with apples. And a funny story, I always thought the apples on that tree were bitter. And my parents came out to visit me a while back, a few years ago I guess. And my mother said, geez, the apples on that tree are some delicious. And I said, no, they're bitter as heck. But what happened was, before that came out, it turned real cold and it snowed. And then the snow had all melted, and then it warmed up again. And then the tree perked back up. And then the apples turned sweet after it snowed on them and froze and then thawed out again. They turned from bitter to sweet. So I guess it's I don't know what you'd call it, a winter apple tree, or it's got to get that first frost on it for it to sweeten up. And this one here just grows little tiny crab apples, and it produces quick and they die quick. So I don't know, they're just little bitter apples. Just plugging away. Okay, well it's pouring rain out. It's been pouring rain for 3 days ever since I planted the garden. But there's the tomatoes. There's that pepper, looks to be doing good. All the onions. And this is how I did the carrots. I did it last year and it worked pretty good. I just cut big rectangles open, then I plant a row with a bunch of seeds, and once they sprout, I just thin them out. I know I could have more carrots if I did full drills, but I just want easy maintenance. And I don't really have a good place to store vegetables, so I can't really plant too many. And there's the turnips. That's through 4, 5, 6 seeds in each one. Once they sprout, I'll thin them out so it's one, and then as they grow, I'll just cut the holes open bigger. And then there's the dill, and then those are the green onions or the chives, whatever you want to call them. Did a row. I'll have to thin those out when they sprout. And then I had white onions that were in their seeds look like that coating around them. I don't know. I had a bag of those, so I just cut a hole and I planted one right there for fun. Man, this rain's coming down. All right, I guess we'll see you in a few weeks there when the garden sprouts. Check you later, guys.